Hey Heart fans, thanks so much for tuning in. I am so excited that all of us are together. You know why? Because now we can form an international team of super friends. That's exactly right. I could be, I think I could try, I would like to be Superman, but if someone out there is more super, I'm always finding one of the Wonder Twins. You know, the Wonder Twins are really weird. Like Zan and Jaina, one could turn into animals, that's cool. The other one turned into water. I never got that. Okay, Fairly Odd Phantom. What's up with Fairly Odd Phantom? I didn't say Fairly Odd Parents. I didn't say Danny Phantom, I said Fairly Odd Phantom. What is that? If you haven't found out by now, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, I did a short cartoon back in 2017 called Fairly Odd Phantom. I did it for Nickelodeon. And why? Why would you do something like that, Butch Hartman? Why would you dare take all of your cartoons, all 4 of my cartoons I combined, Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Bunsen is a Beast, and TUFF Puppy. I combined all 4 of them together into one epic short cartoon. And why did that come about? How did that come about? Here's the story right now. Here's the story of Fairly Odd Phantom. No, never mind. You don't even know the theme song. It's a Brady Bunch anyway, okay, long time ago show. Back in the, all the heads would go like this. It all look, you know, that's the way we became the Butch Hartman Bunch. Dun, dun. Anyway, so Fairly Odd Phantom. How does a guy like me get to make a short cartoon combining all 4 of my cartoons? Back in 2016, one of the execs at Nickelodeon came to me and they said, "Hey Butch," and I said, "Hey Nickelodeon exec, who shall be nameless for this video, what would you like? Come on in the office." And I had to turn off the trapdoors and the laser grid. I had all this protective stuff. The Fortress of Butchitude is very protected. So I allowed the exec to enter into the office, and this executive said, "Hey, you know, the 25th anniversary of Nickelodeon animation is coming up. We would love for you to do a short cartoon to celebrate Nickelodeon's 25th anniversary of animation." I said, "Well, fantastic." And they said, "It could be anything you want." Wow, anything I want. It could be anything I want. Isn't that cool? Now I'm thinking, well, what could I do? It was celebrating the premiere of Doug, one of their first cartoons, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy. I believe it was 1991 they premiered those cartoons, and so they came to me wanting me to help do something to celebrate it. So my idea was, I thought, what better way to celebrate than combining all 4 of my shows. And it was also an opportunity to do some new Danny Phantom animation, which hadn't been done in about 10 years at that point. So I was very excited about it. So what I did was I just started writing a story. What kind of a story could I put together for all 4 of my characters? And I thought the best way to do it, I thought, should I do it in Timmy Turner's bedroom? That was the original idea. The story started in Timmy Turner's bedroom, where he makes a wish and everybody appears in his bedroom. And I thought, well, I don't know about that. I think, because Fairly Odd Parents was still running at the time, and everybody still obviously loved and still loves the show, right? You still love Fairly Odd Parents? Let me know. People say Fairy Odd Parents all the time, by the way. Hey Butch, I really like Fairy Odd Parents. And I appreciate you saying that. But it's Fairly Odd Parents. There's an L in there. The L, the mystery of the lost L. The mystery of the lost L. The story was going to start off in Timmy Turner's bedroom. He was going to make this big wish, and all of the characters were going to show up in his bedroom. But I thought, you know, I kind of wanted to make it Danny Phantom centered. As I started doing this, I started writing it and going, you know what? Haven't seen Danny for a while. I'd love to just go back to the Fenton Lab and hang out with Danny, Sam, and Tucker. So I decided to change the location to take place centrally in Danny Phantom's Fenton Lab. And what's really cool about the Fenton Lab is the Fenton portal is there, and that's really cool. So things can come out of the Fenton portal. So I thought, okay, now I'm onto something here. So we got Danny Phantom in his lab. He and Sam and Tucker are working on the Fenton portal. Something goes wrong, and maybe the Fairly Odd Parents could come out of it. And so who's causing problems in the Fenton portal? That is probably Dudley Puppy, because he's a moron. And he's probably pushing buttons that he shouldn't be pushing. So the story starts to come together. You know, we got the Fenton portal. We got the Fairly Odd Parents coming out of it, Dudley Puppy's pushing buttons, it's all coming together. And then one final thing comes out of the portal. What could it be? Big push in, and that is Bunsen from Bunsen is a Beast. And it was really cool timing, because Bunsen was about to premiere on Nickelodeon that month, and it all just kind of came full circle and worked out perfectly. And one of the weirdest things about doing Fairly Odd Phantom was everybody thought we were bringing back Danny Phantom and testing new Danny Phantom animation, and I really appreciate you guys thinking that. It wasn't the case, but it would have been cool to do. Because if I was going to do Danny Phantom again, I would definitely update it into a more kind of an anime inspired type of a style. I'd age him up a little bit. In fact, I really want to do another video about Danny Phantom being older, later, but I'm not quite sure of the idea yet, but I'm getting there, so hang out for that. And the other cool thing about Fairly Odd Phantom was it was just a blast because I got to bring all the voice actors back together. And I got to do the whole cartoon pretty much by myself. I got to write it, I got to storyboard it, did the whole storyboard myself, and I got to direct it as well. When we released Fairly Odd Phantom on YouTube, I believe it got like 1 million views in the first week. I think it got even more views on Facebook in a shorter amount of time. I think in like 3 days it got 1 million views, so it did really great. We were very excited about it. So thanks to all of you out there who watched Fairly Odd Phantom. You guys can still check it out on YouTube and Facebook. It's all over the place. Find it somewhere. And let me know what you think about it. Which characters do you like the best of the ones I've created? Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, TUFF Puppy, Bunsen. Bunsen wasn't on as long as the rest, but Bunsen's such a great show. We had such a great time doing that show, and to have him star along with my other characters in that short was so cool. And the other cool thing is I got to do a comic book based on Fairly Odd Phantom as well. Comic-Con that year was coming up, and Nickelodeon said, hey, we'd love to make a comic book based on Fairly Odd Phantom. What would your story be? So the story of the comic book was Butch Hartman gets kidnapped, and who's he been kidnapped by? He's been kidnapped by the villains from all 4 shows. Mr. Crocker, Skulker, Snaptrap, and Amanda Killman have kidnapped Butch, and these characters from all 4 shows have to save me. So that was the premise for the comic book, and that came out great. Again, I got to write that, I got to draw that, I had some great assistance on that with the inking and the coloring, but it just came out fantastic. So if you guys haven't seen the cartoon, check it out. If you haven't seen the comic book, you can find it somewhere online. In fact, I might even do a giveaway of one of the comic books here on the channel someday. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. But just love doing the project Fairly Odd Phantom. It was so cool and so much fun. I hope you guys get to do something as awesome in your career someday too. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. And as always, don't forget, art gives you power. Use it wisely. Hey Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen, and the NOOG Network, my new app full of cartoons, shows, and games. Download it here. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.